Travis Kelce has pulled back the curtain on the whirlwind of his recent New York escapades with global superstar Taylor Swift, offering a glimpse into the couple's much-publicized series of back-to-back date nights that set the city abuzz. Rather than a fleeting visit, their time unfolded as a veritable tour of intimacy and shared enjoyment, moving from the sophisticated, dimly lit ambience of a trendy West Village haunt to the electric, paparazzi-flashed entrance of the ultra-exclusive Nobu. He painted a picture of their connection flourishing away from the roaring stadiums and sold-out arenas that define their individual worlds, finding a unique rhythm within the city's relentless pulse. It was a conscious dive into a budding normalcy, a chance to simply be Travis and Taylor amidst cozy dinners and lively conversations, all while knowingly navigating the spotlight that follows them, transforming their every step into a headline and their story into the captivating modern-day fairy tale that fans and onlookers have been eagerly devouring. With the precious gift of a bye week creating a rare pause in the grueling NFL season, the 36-year-old Super Bowl champion seized the opportunity to immerse himself in the world of his 35-year-old partner, a 14-time Grammy-winning music icon. Their rendezvous transformed New York City into a personal playground of intimacy and luxury, as they were spotted weaving through the shadowy, exclusive bars of the Big Apple. This wasn't merely a series of outings, but a deliberate fusion of their two dazzling worlds, from the hard-earned glory of the football field to the stratospheric acclaim of the music industry, finding common ground in whispered conversations over artisanal cocktails. The bye week, typically a time for physical recovery and strategic regrouping, was instead repurposed into a romantic interlude, allowing them to build their burgeoning connection away from the demands of their respective spotlights, if never fully out of sight of the admiring and curious eyes that tracked their every move. Their New York excursion unfolded as a masterclass in modern celebrity romance, a two-night narrative that saw their connection visibly deepen under the city's bright lights. It began with an air of timeless elegance at the Polo Bar, where Taylor Swift, in wide-legged gray pants and a classic black sweater, held hands with Travis Kelce amidst a media scrum. The very next evening, the atmosphere shifted to one of sleek, intimate privacy at her favorite haunt, Zero Bond. There, a smitten Swift strolled arm-in-arm with her 6'5" boyfriend, her outfit a bold statement in a black miniskirt, leather thigh-high boots, and a classic top. In a detail that did not go unnoticed, her left hand remained locked securely in Kelce's throughout their short walk to the club's entrance, a gesture of both affection and unity that kept any potential engagement ring deliberately, and tantalizingly, hidden from view. This progression, from a held hand to linked arms and finally to fingers tightly interlaced, painted a picture of a couple crafting their own story, masterfully balancing public display with the fierce protection of their most private milestones. Travis Kelce has warmly lifted the lid on his recent New York escapades with Taylor Swift, painting their back-to-back date nights not as a staged media spectacle, but as a genuine, shared immersion into the city's autumnal magic. With the Kansas City Chiefs on a bye week, the 36-year-old Super Bowl champion and the 35-year-old, 14-time Grammy winner were spotted enjoying a tour of exclusive haunts, from the old-world sophistication of Ralph Lauren's Polo Bar to the discreet privacy of members-only Zero Bond. Yet, beyond the glamorous locations, Kelce reflected that their time was beautifully simple, a chance to just hang out, put the feet up, saw some cool places, ate some great food, and truly absorb the electric buzz of the big city. This timing was particularly poignant for him, as he shared, "It's my favorite time as the seasons are changing to be around the Midwest and the Northeast." It was against this backdrop of crisp, turning leaves and vibrant city energy that their burgeoning connection flourished, leading him to conclude with effortless charm that despite the frenzy, yeah, it was pretty fun. For the Chiefs tight end, the New York interlude was as much about deepening one iconic connection as it was about fortifying others, as he went on to explain how his time in the city was a rich tapestry of social bonds, both new and old. Amid the whirlwind of romantic dinners and exploring the city's electricity with Taylor Swift, Kelce found meaningful moments to expand his circle, forging new friendships with those who inhabit Swift's world while also carving out time for the comforting familiarity of meeting up with some old friends from his own past. This balancing act painted a picture of a man seamlessly integrating into a new chapter of his life without leaving his core identity behind, all set against the brilliant backdrop of a New York autumn. The entire experience, from the quiet intimacy of a members-only club to the boisterous laughter of a reunion with longtime companions, was not merely a getaway, but a holistic journey that fed both his highly publicized romance and his personal soul, making the trip a multifaceted success that extended far beyond the flashbulbs. Travis Kelce has warmly detailed his recent New York escapades with Taylor Swift, framing their back-to-back date nights not as a media spectacle, but as an authentic immersion into the city's autumnal magic. With a bye week pausing the NFL season, the 36-year-old Super Bowl champion and the 35-year-old, 14-time Grammy winner were spotted at exclusive haunts like Ralph Lauren's Polo Bar and the private Zero Bond, yet Kelce emphasized their time was beautifully simple, a chance to hang out, put the feet up, and savor great food. Beyond the romantic outings, he also nurtured his social world, making new friends while reconnecting with old ones, seamlessly blending this new chapter of his life with his established roots. Reflecting on the entire experience, which coincided with his favorite time of year in the Northeast, Kelce captured the effortless charm of it all by adding, "It's cool to just kind of vibe around the city like that." This casual approach allowed them to simply absorb the electric buzz of New York, transforming a highly publicized romance into a relatable, down-to-earth connection that was, in his own words, pretty fun. On Wednesday night, the crisp autumn air carried a palpable charge as the couple emerged onto Madison Avenue, instantly drawing a constellation of flashing camera lights. There, under the glow of the city and the watchful eyes of their security team, they moved in a tight, practiced formation toward the iconic brass doors of the Polo Bar. Yet, within this bubble of controlled chaos, a simple, intimate gesture spoke volumes. Their hands were entwined, fingers laced together in a natural and firm hold. This wasn't a frantic grip for the cameras, but a calm, connected anchor amidst the frenzy, a silent language of their own that cut through the noise. As they were escorted through the crowd, the image was one of striking contrast, the formidable presence of their protection detail navigating the public spectacle, all while safeguarding the quiet, unspoken bond symbolized by their clasped hands, a single point of stillness before they disappeared into the timeless elegance of the restaurant. The couple's New York sojourn unfolded like a perfectly sequenced romance, moving from classic grandeur to modern intimacy over 2 consecutive nights. It began on Wednesday, with Taylor Swift looking effortlessly chic in a sophisticated ensemble of gray wide-legged pants, a classic black sweater, and sharp black heels as she and Travis Kelce, hand in hand, navigated the flashbulbs into the timeless embrace of Ralph Lauren's Polo Bar. The very next evening, their connection appeared even more solidified as they were seen strolling arm in arm, a posture of easy familiarity and mutual affection, into the sleek, discreet doorway of private members-only Club Zero Bond. This venue, noted as a recent favorite of Swift's, offered a different kind of sanctuary, a modern, fiercely guarded space where the world was left at the door. This sartorial and social progression, from holding hands amidst a public spectacle to linking arms in a private haven, chronicled more than just 2 dates. It illustrated a deepening comfort and the conscious cultivation of a shared life, seamlessly blending his new presence in her world with the established rhythms of her life in the city. Their New York excursion unfolded as a masterclass in modern celebrity romance, a 2-night narrative that saw their connection visibly deepen under the city's bright lights. It began with an air of timeless elegance at the Polo Bar, where Taylor Swift, in wide-legged gray pants and a classic black sweater, held hands with Travis Kelce amidst a media scrum. The very next evening, the atmosphere shifted to one of sleek, intimate privacy at her favorite haunt, Zero Bond. There, a smitten Swift strolled arm in arm with her 6'5" boyfriend, her outfit a bold statement in a black miniskirt, leather thigh-high boots, and a classic top. In a detail that did not go unnoticed, her left hand remained locked securely in Kelce's throughout their short walk to the club's entrance, a gesture of both affection and unity that kept any potential engagement ring deliberately, and tantalizingly, hidden from view. This progression, from a held hand to linked arms and finally to fingers tightly interlaced, painted a picture of a couple crafting their own story, masterfully balancing public display with the fierce protection of their most private milestones. Their New York sojourn painted a picture of a couple deeply in sync, yet delighting in their distinct personal styles. Over 2 consecutive nights, their connection visibly deepened, beginning with a classic, held-hand arrival at the Polo Bar where Taylor Swift embodied effortless chic in gray wide-legged pants and a black sweater. The following evening, the atmosphere shifted to the sleek privacy of her favorite haunt, Zero Bond, where a smitten Swift strolled arm in arm with her 6'5" boyfriend, her ensemble a bold statement in a black miniskirt and leather thigh-high boots. Meanwhile, the three-time Super Bowl champion towered protectively and proudly over his superstar wife-to-be, cutting an equally eye-catching yet relaxed figure in a stylish corduroy track suit and a black t-shirt. Throughout their short walk to the club's entrance, her left hand remained securely locked in his, a gesture of unity that deliberately, and tantalizingly, kept any potential engagement ring hidden from view. Together, they embodied a perfect fusion of his athletic, casual comfort and her curated, high-fashion glamour, navigating the flashbulbs and frenzy to create their own intimate world within the electric buzz of the city. In the days that followed the whirlwind of paparazzi photos and public speculation, fans were granted a unique and credible insight into the nature of Swift and Kelce's date nights, thanks to an unexpected insider account from Bachelorette alum Jason Tartick, who happened to witness the couple during their Thursday outing. Tartick's perspective offered more than just confirmation of their location, it provided a glimpse into the couple's authentic dynamic away from the camera's direct glare. His account served to underscore the very normalcy and genuine connection that Kelce had described, the idea that amidst the exclusive locales and the inevitable spotlight, they were simply a couple enjoying each other's company, their chemistry apparent even to a casual observer. This first-hand testimony from a fellow public figure added a layer of relatable authenticity to the fairy tale narrative, transforming the spectacle from a distant media event into a confirmed, tangible romance witnessed by a peer. The captivating story of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's New York date nights found its most compelling validation through the first-hand account of Bachelorette alum Jason Tartick, who shared his unbelievable observations from his booth adjacent to the couple at Zero Bond. "Okay, first and foremost, what I thought was cool, the privacy in the room," he began, immediately highlighting the controlled and exclusive environment, noting it's about 85 to 100 people. This specific detail was crucial. It wasn't a crowded, anonymous public space but an intimate, curated gathering where the couple could truly let their guard down. For 2 hours, Tartick had a ringside seat to a dynamic that was both electrifying and normal, a testament to how the fiercely guarded privacy of the members-only club provided the perfect sanctuary. It was within this bubble of discreet luxury, away from the flashing cameras but observed by a respectful insider, that the true, unforced nature of Tavies was on full display, not as global icons, but as a couple simply enjoying a night out, their genuine connection made all the more authentic by the privileged yet private setting that allowed it to flourish unseen by the world, but confirmed by a credible witness. The portrait of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's now legendary New York date nights was ultimately completed not by the paparazzi's lenses, but by the respectful testimony of an insider, Bachelorette alum Jason Tartick, who shared his unbelievable observations after being seated near them for 2 hours at the private club Zero Bond. He set the scene by first praising the privacy in the room, an assembly of only about 85 to 100 discreet individuals. However, the most telling detail of all was the enforced sanctity of their space, as Tartick noted with admiration that there were no pictures being taken and no one went up to that table throughout their entire dinner. This critical context transformed the account from a simple sighting into a profound insight. It confirmed that within the club's hushed, respectful confines, the global superstars were freed from the performance of fame. The couple, seen arm in arm and looking utterly smitten, was not managing a constant stream of interruptions but was truly lost in their own world, able to simply vibe and connect as any other couple would. Tartick's account, remarkable for what he didn't reveal, ultimately validated the entire essence of their getaway, a successful quest for normalcy and genuine connection, fiercely protected in the heart of a city that rarely sleeps and never stops watching. The captivating narrative of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's New York rendezvous found its most profound context through the first-hand account of Bachelorette alum Jason Tartick, who, from his booth at Zero Bond, witnessed not just the couple's easy chemistry over 2 hours, but the very machinery of their fame. He marveled at the privacy in the room, where 85 to 100 discreet guests enforced an unspoken rule, with no pictures and no one approaching their table, creating a sanctuary where the global icons could simply be Travis and Taylor. Yet, Tartick articulated the poignant paradox that defines their relationship, confessing, "It was a little disheartening but also kind of made me curious is knowing the privacy they had in this room," before adding the crucial caveat, "The second they walked outside this club, there was gonna be paparazzi. This sharp contrast between the intimate, protected world inside and the anticipated media storm outside framed their entire getaway, from holding hands at the Polo Bar to walking arm in arm into Zero Bond. It was a conscious, strategic trade-off, a fleeting taste of normalcy, fiercely guarded in a private bubble, fully aware that the electric buzz of the city they loved to vibe in was also the very force that would forever wait for them just beyond the door. The unfolding story of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's New York getaway, meticulously pieced together from paparazzi photos, Kelce's own reflections, and a key insider account, reached its most authentic conclusion with a clarifying detail from Bachelorette alum Jason Tartick. Initially exciting fans by stating he met Taylor Swift last night, Tartick promptly refined his story, explaining that he had in fact been seated in the booth beside the couple for 2 hours without intruding, a nuance that profoundly deepened the credibility of his testimony. This correction highlighted the respectful distance maintained by everyone in the private room at Zero Bond, a space where no pictures were taken and no one went up to that table. It was from this vantage point of discreet observation that he was able to fully absorb the scene, later rhapsodizing about her electricity, her glow, her light, and confirming the captivating dynamic that made them impossible to look away from. His account, remarkable for its initial exaggeration and subsequent honesty, ultimately painted the most complete picture, a verified, awe-inspiring connection that was both intensely private and, thanks to a respectful bystander, powerfully confirmed for the world outside the club's doors. The portrait of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's New York romance was completed not by the glare of paparazzi flashbulbs, but by the hushed, awestruck account of an accidental insider. Bachelorette alum Jason Tartick, who had the rare fortune of being seated in a booth next to the couple for 2 hours at the private club Zero Bond, became the story's most credible narrator. He meticulously set the scene, a room of only 85 to 100 people where an unspoken code of conduct ruled, there were no pictures and no one went up to that table, granting the couple a true sanctuary. Tartick, who initially sparked excitement by saying he met Taylor Swift before clarifying his role was merely that of a proximate observer, was ultimately left not with gossip, but with a profound sense of witness. After quietly taking in the scene, her effortless chic, their smitten, arm-in-arm intimacy, the easy way they existed in their own world, he could only conclude that the experience was unbelievable. His testimony served as the ultimate confirmation of the magic the public could only glimpse from afar. It was the vibrant, electric connection Kelce described, playing out in real time, protected by 4 walls that held back the world, if only for one night. The captivating narrative of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's New York romance found its most intimate and visceral conclusion in the account of Bachelorette alum Jason Tartick, whose proximity to the couple at Zero Bond transformed him from a mere observer into a privileged witness. For 2 hours, in a room zealously guarded by a privacy he admired, Tartick existed within their radiant orbit, later struggling to convey the sheer closeness with a physical mime as he recounted, "I'm telling you. For 2 hours, I was this far away from her." That small, gestured distance underscored the entire, surreal nature of the evening. He was not in a crowd, but a neighbor, close enough to feel the very electricity, her glow, her light he described, yet bound by the room's respectful code that forbade pictures or approaches. This unparalleled vantage point allowed him to see what the world outside could not, the unforced intimacy, the smitten glances, the genuine connection that made the experience, in his eyes, truly unbelievable. His testimony, culminating in that simple mime, provided the final, convincing brushstroke in a portrait of a superstar couple who, for one night, mastered the art of being both fiercely private and profoundly seen. The meticulously pieced-together narrative of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's New York rendezvous, which unfolded over 2 nights of elegant dinners and arm-in-arm strolls, found its most conclusive and dazzling detail through the captivated eyes of Bachelorette alum Jason Tartick. From his booth, a mere mime distance away from the couple for 2 hours at Zero Bond, Tartick served as the ultimate insider witness, first marveling at the room's enforced privacy and the couple's undeniable chemistry. But it was his final, glittering observations that sealed the story for fans worldwide. He confirmed that the singer not only wore her iconic red lipstick but also her engagement ring, which he described as absolutely blinging. This single account connected all the threads. The hidden hand from the paparazzi photos was now revealed to be adorned with a brilliant symbol of their commitment, The private sanctuary of the club had allowed it to be seen by a respectful observer, and the unbelievable glow he noted now had a tangible, sparkling source. In one fell swoop, Tardik's testimony transformed the speculation into confirmed reality, painting the complete picture of a superstar, radiant and in love, enjoying a private moment that was, at last, fully and brilliantly illuminated.